Barnes, Harrison Barnes, he threw that noob down to the ground. He threw him in the trash can. Oh my gosh, that's some murder.
Before Chris Smoove would gain a YouTube following of over 4.5 million subscribers and would have a total of over 2.6 billion views on his YouTube channel.
Oh my gosh, there's so many ways to tube ya. Got me like, oh my gosh, I'm so
ready for revenge.
Before Chris Smoove would coin the terms shot clock cheese, I make it splash man, and that's a smooth move to name a few. And of course we can't forget,
why not let it fly?
splash.
Before Chris Smoove would do a face reveal in a commercial with Tony Parker, star in 2 PS4 commercials with David Ortiz and John Wall, and do a Pepsi commercial for Super Bowl 50.
Take it to the building, son.
Huh. There's a lot. Look at that. Oh! Ooh! That hurt. Splash!
Before Smoove would make a diss track about NBA 2K18 in the game itself.
The cutscenes are cringy, the VC is stingy. I can't wear my shoes, I foul and I lose. I'm about to drop a diss track on their own beat. That bike is useless, I'm faster on my own feet.
Chris Smoove has quickly grown a large following on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, having a total of over 5.2 million followers or subscribers across all 3 platforms. Known for his hilarious commentary during gameplay of the NBA 2K series, Call of Duty, Madden, and of course coverage of the NBA throughout the year. Smoove has been able to build quite a Smoove army over his 11-year YouTube career, currently sitting at an estimated $3 million net worth. We're here to tell you guys all about it and his rise to being the smoothest guy on YouTube right here on Before They Were Famous. What's going on, guys? My name is Jared Bronstein and welcome back to Before They Were Famous. We've done a ton of videos on your favorite YouTubers, both Before They Were Famous and Rich Life videos, and you guys requested this video over and over and over. So we gotta give the people what they want. Now I'll be totally honest with you guys, there really isn't a ton of information on this guy. I did a ton of digging on Smoove and even messaged him on Instagram and Twitter. But he's a busy dude, so hopefully he sees this and is willing to do an interview with us to make sure we get our facts straight. Now before we start, I got a trivia question that only the real OG fans of Chris Smoove would know. Before he changed his channel to Chris Smoove, what was his channel's original name? You guys gotta let me know in the comments right down below. Let's see who's really been a fan of this guy since the beginning. As always, I'll answer the trivia question at the very end of this video, and keep sending your requests in the comments down below. Let's get right into this one.
Hey, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Boom!
Chris Smoove was born on November 27th, 1985 in the state of Florida. He currently resides in South Florida according to both his Twitter and Instagram page, although the exact city is unknown. Now unfortunately I couldn't get much info on his parents. In fact, the only thing I was able to really find out about his parents is that they weren't too strict on him as a kid. They would let him play video games as long as he would attend school and get good grades. He talks about it in a video here.
The only restriction my parents did was they said you gotta go to school every day. I was the kind of kid that was at school every day. I rarely ever missed days. Probably from in high school, I think I only missed like a handful of days.
In the same video, Smoove talks about how his uncle, his dad's brother, was strict with his kids, Smoove's first cousins, only giving them a certain amount of time to play on the TV and even their computer. He jokes that when his family would visit his cousins, Smoove would tell his dad to unlock the TV and leave it unlocked for his cousins so they would get more time on the TV than normal. Smoove also talks about his grandmother who lives in New York, which leads me to believe that this is most likely where his dad's side of the family is from.
Next month I'm going to New York. I'm gonna go visit my grandma because she is really old. So I'm gonna be stopping by there and I'm gonna visit them.
Now unfortunately I couldn't find any information on his mom. Like I said, there's barely any information on Smoove himself out there, but considering how he was born and raised in Florida, I'd speculate that his mom's family is most likely from there. Assuming his father was from New York, I don't see why Smoove would be born and raised in Florida, if not for his mother's side of the family being from there. Again, it's all speculation, but Chris, if you're watching this, hit me up, bro! What I can tell you guys about his parents is that they raised a young man who knew education was important. Smoove originally made his YouTube account back on March 19th of 2006, and it's reported the reasoning behind him making a channel, well, it's to look at booty videos. I like this guy already. Smoove uploaded his first YouTube video on February 14th, 2008, as you guys can see right here. But he wouldn't really start to see success on YouTube until he started uploading commentary videos while playing NBA 2K games and Call of Duty with his own personal commentary attached. In fact, he started to do so well on YouTube, people actually encouraged him to make it a full-time job and drop out of college.
People were sending me messages saying things like, Smoove, why are you in college? You're on YouTube. You have YouTube. You should drop out. What are you doing in college?
Now back in 2012 when that video was posted, YouTube was getting bigger and bigger, but it definitely wasn't at the level it's at now. Now don't get it twisted, people like Ray William Johnson, Ryan Higa, Smosh, and Jenna Marbles to name a few were making a killing. But no one could see YouTube becoming the monster platform it's become today. Which is why in response to the people telling Smoove to pursue YouTube full time, he told them, I quote, it'd be a noob move.
Make videos every day. Make 2 videos, make 3 videos, splash every day.
Splash.
I appreciate the love, but it would be a noob move to drop out of college.
He admitted in the video that he doesn't know how sustainable being on YouTube really is. This was also around the time that he was almost done his education, which unfortunately I couldn't find too much information on. There is a fan theory though that he went to FAU, which is Florida Atlantic University, because in a video showing his 2K11 My Player, he listed his college as FAU. Although it's unclear what he studied, he did buy a textbook that included Beyonce. I'm not sure what program has Beyonce in their textbooks, but I think I want to go back to college.
In my book, they were talking about Beyonce. In the new book, they weren't talking about Beyonce. They just used somebody else. I mean, that's not justification for $100 for a new edition.
And considering how Smoove was born and raised in Florida, it would definitely make sense. FAU is also located in South Florida, where Smoove currently resides, so I think we may be onto something here, guys. God, I'm so good at my job. Bill also includes cameos from a ton of popular rappers, including Lil Gunna, in his debut album with Mater Day on January 24th, 2017. Alright, maybe not. Anyway, Smoove would continue to upload videos on YouTube daily on a regular basis, and eventually he would partner with one of YouTube's biggest channels back in the day, Machinima. In 2010, he would even win the Machinima Sports Best Commentary Award, which would help him grow his brand even more. In 2013, Smoove would leave Machinima but would drop some merch including t-shirts with his famous catchphrases, such as That's a Smooth Move, Come on Ka, and I Make It Splash Man.
Oh, come on, cuh. Say it ain't so, cuh. How you gonna drop a grenade like that? How you gonna poop out a grenade, cuh?
Although he does explain that people would use the word "ka" in his middle school, specifically this guy Moses, who was considered the "ka" champion of his school. But if you guys want to hear the full story about how Chris Smoove came up with the "come on ka," go check out his video on his channel. He'll tell you all about it. Now for those of you guys that don't know, Smoove wouldn't reveal his identity until he teamed up with Tony Parker, 4-time NBA champ who also retired this year, and Need for Speed in this epic commercial which included his face reveal.
You'll think twice now before you talk trash. Allez, bye.
I'm getting a shout out anyway. I don't care about the win. I'm gonna be famous.
Now Smoove continues to post daily videos on YouTube, some days as much as 2 to 3 uploads per day, and considering how the basketball season has just concluded, he's mostly doing uploads about the free agency and where players are signing or being traded to. In fact, it seems like he's dedicated his channel to being a news source following all the hottest stories in the NBA. He hasn't uploaded a Call of Duty gameplay video in what seems to be about 5 years, and he does still occasionally upload videos of him playing 2K, but not as often as he once did.
They're out here hustling. They want to go to the finals. I'ma pop it.
And as you can see, over his long YouTube career, which is still going strong, boasting over 4.5 million subscribers at the time of this recording, Chris Smoove hasn't changed one bit. It's been noted that he's actually never sworn in a video, at least that I could find, which has also helped him gain a lot of notoriety. He's also gone on to have partnerships with 2K, who have sent him shoes and a boombox in the past, PS4, and Pepsi, who he did a Super Bowl commercial with for Super Bowl 50 back in 2016.
I didn't mean what I was saying about the linebackers before.
Of course you did.
Oh, catch. Touchdown! We're going to the Super Bowl!
Smoove also sells a ton of merchandise on his website, from phone cases to t-shirts to hoodies. The man is getting paid. This is obviously on top of his ad revenue he gets from his YouTube channel, and any other partnerships or investments that we don't know about. It's also fair to mention he's got a couple songs on iTunes, including That's BS and Waiting on a Noob. Here's a snippet of some of his music.
Teabag, hop on that B flag, black jacket, swag. This is so easy, be produced by Sleazy.
Haha, look at that.
Now there's also other fan-made songs. I don't think they were actually produced by Chris, or maybe they were made by Chris. I'm not 100% sure, but he's got a whole Vevo page by a fan. It's not the official Vevo page. But I don't think he's really pursuing music because his personal clips are from back in 2011. Now to answer our trivia question, which we started the video with, what was Chris Smoove's YouTube channel name before he changed it to just Chris Smoove? Well, like most YouTubers, it was his last name Smoove, followed by a bunch of random numbers. More specifically, as you can see in this old screenshot, his channel name was Smoove7182954. Eventually he would change it to Chris Smoove, which I think has a better ring to it anyway. As always, you guys gotta let us know in the comments down below who you want us to cover next. Be sure to share this video and tag Chris Smoove so we could hopefully get an interview with him. I'd love to do a more in-depth updated version, but we need the real facts from the 2K legend himself. My name is Jared Bronstein. Be sure to check out some of our other videos such as The Rich Life of David Dobrik or SS Sniper Wolf, and let me know in the comments down below what your favorite Chris Smoove catchphrase is. Mine's definitely gotta be, come on, ka! You guys can catch me on social media at Bron7, and I'll see you in the next video.